So free lesson number 3. People asked about a lot of different things, or had a lot of really good suggestions. I think I'm going to go with a couple of them. Basically, it's fretboard memorization. That's where we're going to start. So generally with my younger students, I like to start them off playing the major scale. And it's a familiar thing that's still taught a lot at very beginning levels in public school and stuff like that. You know, do, re, mi, fa, sol, la, ti, do kind of thing. So if you want to map out your fretboard, really it's important to know, for example, what all the names of the notes are. For me, this is kind of how I learned the guitar. Just your natural notes are all over the fretboard. There's 2 places where there are naturally occurring half steps, meaning there is no in-between note in 12-tone music. So that's going to be B to C and E to F. So B, C, E, F. So with that knowledge, all our natural notes, or the key of C major or A minor, are all going to be whole steps apart except for E and F and B and C. So we know the names of our strings, E, A, D, G, B, E. We want to start by just learning the notes on each individual string first. That's a good place to, to kind of branch out. So E, half step to F, naturally occurring half step. G must be a whole step. That is true. G to A is a whole step. A to B is a whole step. B to C, naturally occurring half step. So E, F, G, A, B, C. D is a whole step from C, and then D to E is a whole step, and then we're back to our naturally occurring half step. The notes will all repeat starting from the 12th fret. So E, E. So you want to do that on each string. E, half step to F. G, A, B, half step to C. D, E, F, G, A, B, C, D, E. On the A string, A, B is a whole step. Half step to C, naturally occurring half step. C, D, E, half step to F, G, A, B, C, D, E, F, G, A. D string, D, E, F, G. Repeat the process. Memorize your strings. Don't do too much at once. It's better to learn in like 2 days and really know and memorize your notes on your low E string or your high E string or whatever string you start on. You want to know it. So meaning if I go here and I play this note, what is that? That's a C. That's a B, D, A, G, F. You need to know those forwards and backwards, be able to put your fingers anywhere. Well, that's not in there. It's between an A and a B, so it's either A sharp or B flat. That's sharp means up a half step, flat down a half step, roughly. Anyway, so that's a good first place to start. Secondly, we want to start with whatever pitch collection you want to deal with, and this is an expansive topic. I'm trying to keep this lesson short, so we're going to deal with a couple of different sounds. I like to start with the major scale, as I previously stated, because it's a very familiar sound back to lullabies when you're a little baby, Okay, so we're going to start there. And I'm going to do this with a couple different things because this is more about memorizing the fretboard. So our goal is to know C major in a couple of spots by the end of our major scale section. You can start the scale with whatever finger you like. So maybe I'll start with my 3rd finger, and I'm going to use open strings. C, whole step to D. I have an open D note, and this comes from memorizing my individual strings first, okay? C, D, E, F, G, A, B, C. So, then from there, you want to make sure, like, say you're having trouble with that finger or whatever. Like, oh, that's a lot of information. Well, just get the first couple notes. 1, 2, 3, 4. Can you play it forwards and backwards? 1, 2, 3, 4. 4, 3, 2, 1. Okay, don't go any further until you can do that. Only do, like, what your brain can take snapshots of. It's like, I don't want you to stare off at a piece of paper like, here's my music stand over here. I'm not going to go. Like, not effective. Just take what your brain can handle. If it's only 3 notes, no shame in that. Get those 3 notes and know I'm good. If it's 4, good for you. If it's 5, good. So, do that. Say you only can memorize the first 4 notes in, say, 10 minutes. Take a break, play something else. Okay, now we've jammed a riff for 5 minutes or whatever, 10 minutes. Do I remember my scale? Cool, I can move forward. So now I'm going to memorize the next 2 notes. And I'm going to put it with the information I've already assimilated. So that's the 5th and 6th scale degrees. Back to or whatever. And then I go back and see if I can remember it. Last 2 notes. It's not as taxing on your brain that way. You're not staring at some piece of paper. You're not looking at the computer screen. Some random dude, you know, telling you why, what fingers, whatever. Like, you can play all this stuff however you want, and it's definitely good to practice playing them different ways. You can play these fingers, these fingers, these fingers. You'll see people play all this stuff different ways, and, you know, as long as it sounds good, it's good. That's always the rule for me, you know, not the super technical stuff. So the next step is I would try to play this in a different spot on the guitar. So maybe I have a C here. Yeah, I guess that's how I finger it. So now I'm going to try to keep it in this kind of area, and I'm hanging all these things off Octave Shapes. You can call this the caged system, 5-pattern system. I don't use any of those things exclusively, like caged 3-note per string, because literally you can play, you can do that too. So it's like, well, what do you call that? I call it 2-note per string major scale stuff, but you know, you can do that anywhere. So I mean, it's how creative you want to be with and what you're trying to accomplish. You know, if you want to play this, that's a great fingering for that. A little harder. Or you know, so it depends on the phrase I'm trying to play. Might play something like that. So I'm going to start here with my middle finger on C. I'm going to play the same thing I played here. C, D, E, F, G, A, B, C, whole step, half step, E, F, G, A, B, C. So I'm just keeping it to 1 octave just for instruction purposes. So anyway, now what you do is the same thing. How much of it can you memorize? Maybe this one you can, the 5 notes feel good. Try a couple different fingerings. It's okay to slide your fingers around too. And then play something else, you know, I don't know. Okay. Good, I got it. Moving on. So this is going to work with any type of scale. The more complex it is, the more you need to simplify it and take it a little piece at a time. You know, that kind of deal. Like, let's change topics. Let's say we do for the rock people. You know, instead of, I know not everybody's tuning into this lesson for, oh boy, another major scale. So let's do like, say, let's do the people's key, A minor pentatonic. That's a root, a flat third, 4th, 5th, flat 7th root. It's a minor scale with no 2nd and no 6th, or minor 6th. So that's a minor scale. Let's see if you can memorize that. 1st, 3rd, and 4th finger on the bottom 2 strings. So A, B, C, D, E, F. High E string is going to be the same thing. We should be able to memorize those 3 strings pretty automatically. Okay, we've played a riff. I've come back. I'm going to learn the D string. Well, in this position, it's only got 2 notes on it, unless I wanted to. I guess I could do that, or whatever. Again, the fingering is up to you. I encourage you to try all the different possibilities. It makes your practice a lot more interesting, and your improvisation and composition. So now we've got the 3 strings that are identical in fingering, and then we have the odd man out with the 2 notes, the G and A. So now I'm going to add, I played a riff, I'm going to come back, and I'm going to add the B, C, and D notes, or frets 4, 5, and 7, fingers 1, 2, 4. I'm going to do the same fingering on the B, 5, 6, and 8, fingers 1, 2, 4. So if I notice in a scale position the fingering is consistent, I try to take note of that. You know, that's where the guitar can be shape based, and that can be extremely helpful. So I've memorized my scale in the 5th position, that's A minor. Now I'm going to take out, this is where you want to know what the notes are you're playing. That's my 2nd. I know that because I know the octave shape, and I just happen to know that's B, B, B. There's the B's there. And then I have my 6th, F. The only reason a lot of people use pentatonic, well, not the only reason, but one of the big reasons is people use minor pentatonics and major pentatonics. They avoid these potentially offensive notes. If I play an A minor chord and I play an F, now if you like that sound, that's okay, because you could use that. I don't really care for it that much, but whatever, you know, like Randy Rhoads used it, it's cool. And if you like it, use it. So anyway, but that's why if I do the same thing, now a lot of times I like to add in the 9th. Whatever. So, now we've got our minor pentatonic we're going to use. It's just we got rid of the B's and the F's. So that's 1, 4, 1, 3, 1, 3, 1, 3, 1, 4, 1, 4. Okay, most people probably know that if you're watching this and you're a guitar player. So let's use one that maybe you don't know. So, and I'm sure plenty of people know this one too. I'm going to use the 7th fret on the D string. What's up, Cat? You want to be in the lesson too? Okay, Cat knows how to open doors, so he just comes in whenever. So I'm going to start on A here, on the 7th fret on the D string, finger number 1. I'm going to use the same shape here, accounting for the half step I have to move up on the B and E strings there. So 1, 4, 1, 3. And again, I'm only going to take as much information as I can use. Okay, I got that much. Fine, let's start there. Cool. So now, well, look, top string's the same as the B string. So I'm only going to do that much, play a riff. Now I'll go back to it. Okay, so now I need to know these other 2 strings, these mystery strings, the A and the low E. Okay, E, G, same as the D string. Low E, same as high E. Cool, I piece all that information together. Learn scales like that, way easier than staring at some computer screen or a PDF. Like take the notes, get them off the paper, get them off the computer as much as you can retain, make it small pieces, add the pieces to the small pieces, put all the small pieces together, you get the big piece. There's your lesson. If you got questions, hit me up, message me. I teach private lessons all the time, so got a couple spots open. All right, hope you enjoyed it. Later.